Hello, and welcome to Live Vedanta, a podcast about simple living and high thinking. On this season of Live Vedanta, we are getting to the heart of Shrimad Bhagavad Gita. In this episode, we're focusing on chapter 2, verse 47, in which Shri Krishna shifts from teaching about our real nature and the nature of change to explaining the importance of fulfilling our responsibilities. When our intention is focused solely on right action, not results or inaction, we cultivate quietude, purity, and freedom from restlessness, laziness, and inertia. Let's tune in.
Verse 7, verse 11, now verse 47. This is a very famous verse that people who know a little bit about Bhagavad Gita quote like they know a lot about Bhagavad Gita. Karmanyevadhikaraste ma phaleshu kadachana ma karma phalahetur bhuhu ma te sangostva karmani. Joy. I'm going to share with you two frameworks, and then tomorrow we will reflect on this more. Here's the translation. Karmani means in work or action. Eva, alone. Adhikaraha, you are eligible for. Your plan should be te. Prince Arjuna, you. Your intention should be in work, in action. Ma, what it should not be in. Haleshu, in the result of that work. Kadachana, it should never be for the result. Already our minds are blown. Our comfort zone is, stop, we don't want more. And now Shri Krishna shares it again in the third quarter. He uses the word ma again. No, karma phala hetu, the reason for your action should not be the result. Bhuhu means he's implying this for you. And then the third message here, another ma, this is no, not, te, you, sangaha, should be associated with or attached to akarmani, which means not working, inaction. Is the translation sort of clear for everyone? Here is framework one. Framework one. I want you to try to remember the numeral 1 equals karma. One's intention, one's purpose, one's why should be 1. 1 is karma. That essentially is for those who are filled with sattva or quietness. Here's number 2. The numeral 2 equals karma phala. Those whose intention, purpose, why is not work, but rather is results. That naturally would be people who are filled with raja. They're not quiet, they're aggressive. And here's 3. Numeral 3 equals akarma, akarma. Their intention, their purpose, their why is akarma. That is inaction. People who are filled with tama or laziness. Clear? So in this verse, Shri Krishna is sharing, your intention is either a 1, a 2, or a 3. Fair? Now, let's go in a reverse order now. Ma, which means no. One's intention should not be number 3. One's intention should not be inaction. Why? Intention has to be practiced in the form of implementation. That's how one purifies themselves. That's how one remembers. As an example, if I think about exercising, does my body become healthier? I have to think it, and then I have to exercise, correct? If I think about forgiving you, but actually don't feel it, how does our relationship work? It's not as good. So Shri Krishna's first logical point is, let go of number 3. Now we're going to number 2. Ma, to not follow. Number 2, which was karma phala, those who are filled with aggressiveness. What is the logic behind this? Results, if we think about this in terms of space and time, results, are they in your control or out of your control? Results, in or out? It's out of your control. It's not in your space. Now let's think about time. Results are in the present or the future? The future. When do you want to be happy? Tomorrow. You want to be happy in the present. So those are some insights about the answer is not 3. The answer is not 2. Then in this multiple choice test, the answer must be 1. One's intention, one's purpose, one's why should be karma. Work for those who are filled with quietness. Bhagavad Gita's chapter 1 has the theme of, the focus of, fear. Why fear? Fear happens when we are living selfishly, where one feels they're an individual and dig into this. If you ever feel fear, we tend to attribute this outwardly, like I'm afraid of the future, or I'm afraid of what people will say. Try to be honest. This is because you feel you're an individual. Chapter 2, fearlessness. Fearlessness. This comes from being selfless. When one has renounced, that's the last part. Here, self means ego or individuality. Chapters 3, 4, 5 zoom into how does one practice selflessness to feel fearlessness. We will commence chapter 3 tomorrow. So far in chapter 2, Shri Krishna has been emphasizing to be intentional. Yoga in English, a definition in English, is intentionality. Sharing this in a more tactile way, it is to focus. Focus not on what you're doing, but why are you doing? When you focus, you will evolve from feeling living to feeling life. Living is a verb. It keeps changing. Life is the substratum, the foundation, the noun that doesn't keep changing. Living is where one is experiencing conflict. All of us are constantly feeling conflict from our own health, our relationships, the economy. Can you fix all of that? You can't fix this conflict. The more you try, the more you find more conflict. This is exhausting, and then we die. When one is intentional, one focuses, one goes beyond the conflict. In separation, there will always be conflict. Beyond separation is oneness, where there is no conflict. The word Rama means the one who revels in every heart. When one lives in an unintentional way, they don't even feel Rama in their own heart. When one is intentional, one is focusing, they do start to feel Rama is reveling in my heart, which means he's reveling in your heart too. Sharing this in one more way, we have lots of healthcare providers that work with eyes in our community. The average person, I think, has 20/20 vision. But for someone who's intentional, is focused, it's like they have 21 vision. Everyone else has to be this close to see. They're always seeing what's beyond themselves, beyond others. This sounds lovely. Shri Krishna doesn't want this to be theoretical. So in verse 47, he gives us techniques on how to focus. Framework 1, share 2 frameworks. Framework 1, if we go from top down, karma. Below that, karma phala. Below that, akarma. Focus. What is your focus? On 1, 2, or 3. The second framework, if we can extrapolate gunas, or the quality here, the quality of the person, those filled with quietness, those filled with aggressiveness, those filled with laziness. Then I began to open up the logic of renouncing number 3. That is akarma, or inaction. Why? If you don't practice, you can't evolve. I gave the example of me thinking about exercising doesn't help my lung capacity. I have to practice. Next is renouncing number 2, karma phala. The logic of this, results are out of my space and out of my time. They're not in my control and they're not in my present. There's so much that is unknown. The more one lives for karma phala, the more fearful they become. The answer is not 3, the answer is not 2, then naturally the answer must be 1. Karma or action. I told you this is a seed. In chapter 3, 4, 5, Shri Krishna will move into right actions, right attitudes. Why should I practice karma or action? Because it's in my space and time. Action is in your control or out of your control? In your control. Action is in your time or out of your time, in the sense that is it the past, present, or future? It's in the present. So logically, one's intention or focus should be on action. As I mentioned, this is the seed. The seed will start to be fertilized in forthcoming chapter.
To dive deeper into essential love, go to the show notes and click the link to request your free copy of our ebook. The Essential Love ebook includes a dedicated page for each verse that we cover here on the podcast. It includes a structured approach to learn, synthesize, and reflect on the divine teachings. And of course, if you've liked what you've heard, share this episode with a friend. Leave us a review on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, or find us online at chinmayaniagara.com or CM Niagara on Facebook and Instagram. This podcast is produced by seekers from Chinmaya Mission Niagara. Until next time, inspire, love, be.